Hi, Aquarius, and welcome to the fifth dimension. It is my desire to bring through a loved one who has passed but stands beside you here on earth. And so I'm going to bring forth characteristics specifically, letters, numbers. I have a storyline, I have their energy. I do this all in advance because I pray and meditate over the cards. It takes me about 30 to 35 minutes to pull everything. So I don't want to waste your time. So let's go ahead and get right down to it. When I pulled this story, when I asked the divine to bring forth a loved one that has passed for the Aquarius viewer, it was a really simple storyline. So this should be easy for you to recognize if this is your person. Um, Please hit subscribe because if this does not resonate with you, you can look for future readings that do bring forth your person, especially if you pray and meditate over that person and ask for them to come forth through me. That will happen. Um, or go ahead and view past readings and see if your person has come in the past. So watch the Aquarius viewers past videos, and that may resonate if this doesn't. But all right, so let's get started. So I had a man come forward. Um, this man possibly never married, but this is a reading or this is directed towards his significant person in his life, and it is a female. So even though you may not have ever married, he was a great source of support in your life. Okay, so I have that he met someone that he wanted to marry, and for some reason he felt lonely and he felt trapped in that situation. He received some money, possibly unexpectedly, and he might have enrolled in the military, possibly. So this would be probably when he was younger. Um, he came back from the military, and he came back from wherever he was at. Might have been a oil rig job or just something like that. When he came back from that endeavor, um, I don't know why, but he did not end up marrying the woman that he thought he would have when he left. Um, this kind of broke his heart. He ended up pretty much alone. He did well for himself. He had a nice home, dressed very nicely. He possibly could have had blonde hair. He liked to play games, especially chess. Um, but then he met you. So if this is a female viewer, then this would be for you. He met you, and shortly after he met you, like almost a month, um, you became ill, and he actually either took you to another location to get treatment, or he went somewhere out of the country to pick up something for you regarding your illness. Could have been a medicine that isn't uh, accessible here in the United States where I live. But something about that where he was a great source of support for you during the time of your illness. He may have just been the person who went and got your prescriptions filled, or took you to the doctor, or just sat with you when you weren't feeling well. So he was a significant person to you. You don't have to be married to someone for them to be significant, especially if this is the same sex relationship, which I don't see that here, but I have had that come up in the past. Um, you received news that he had passed, and you were extremely heartbroken at the loss of him. But I'm going to bring, I know that that's a general story, but when I bring in the other tools that I use, numbers and letters and energy, um, and things like that, it will help you confirm this for sure. Also, at the end, I take a couple of cards and I ask the divine, if this person could speak to you right now, what would they say? So that's at the end, and that is just a beautiful time. It's my favorite part of the reading every time. And all right, so let's get started with the rest of his characteristics. He possibly could have had a driving job. He might have been an over-the-road trucker. He might have been a school bus driver. I see that he had finances, so he might have possibly just done this as a side thing to keep himself busy. So that may help you figure out that this is your person. The other thing is I have that he was cremated. So he was cremated and he was placed in a black urn. Um, that's what I'm saying. Um, I see that he liked brown. He wore a lot of browns and yellows, possibly, or just the brown, gold, brown and yellow together make gold. So maybe he wore like mustard colors or brown, dark brown, light brown, different shades of brown. Um, so let's see, that's what I got for his uh, burial and his preferable clothing color. I have that he intuitively, I'm feeling he was very creative. He was kind of an overachiever. He was super practical and very innovative. Um, but even though his words were ambitious, they were like honey. So he would inspire, but in a very kind way. The person that he was inspiring did not walk away feeling like they had just been demeaned in any way. Quite the opposite, actually. He always knew what to say to make you feel better. So, I mean, what a lovely energy to have around you, especially if you got sick before he passed. All right, so I went ahead and asked for some letters that represent this person, and I'm going to show you. Sorry, I'm looking down. I'm gathering them, trying to hold them so that you can see all of them. Let me grab it this way. Sorry about this. Okay. We have K, S, P, X, L, and I. Now, these letters could represent his first, middle, and last name, could represent some multiple letters in his first name or multiple letters in his last name. He could have been from Kansas. I think that's no, it's KS. Well, here's KS, Kansas. Maybe originally, or that's where he was at, or you two were, that might be the state that you resided in, or there also was a word. Okay, this is so cool. Did he have a lisp by any chance? Or like a speech, a different way, inflection in his speech? Wow, that's really cool. All right. So, like I said, don't force it to fit, but think outside the box. So that's why I'm throwing out suggestions. These letters could represent states, towns, names, actual words like we saw come through. So think outside the box, and that will confirm some things for you. I also prayed and meditated and asked the divine for some numbers that are representative of this man's life. I received 5, 30, and 7. Now the 5 can be May, the 7 can be July. That could be a birth month or death month. And then the 30th day is significant to this person, or 30 years of age. I also received the numbers 22, 4, and 0. Now the 0 to me is a child that was not born. So he could have gotten someone pregnant and had a miscarry at some point in his life, or a terminated pregnancy at some point in his life. And he might have shared this information with you. Also, the 4 could represent April. And then that's 22. Sorry, the bottom of my 2 broke off. So, like I said, don't force it to fit, but think outside the box. So I thought that was good, because sometimes I have an agreement with Divine to take whatever lands on the floor, and sometimes I just get 2 or 3. So when I get more than that, I really, really appreciate it, and I know you do too. All right. I had that his favorite season was spring, possibly, and I see him working outside. So maybe he liked to manicure his lawn, his bushes. He may have even planted some vegetables, but he did like to work outside. And yes, he always wore a hat when he worked outside. All right. And then I see a dog. Did he have a dog that he really loved? When he was younger, he had a white dog. And then when he got a little older, he had possibly a black dog. He might have had 2 cats. I have a black cat and a calico cat. They might have been outdoor cats, and the dog might have been his indoor pet, but um, that was definitely after he met you that these other animals were in his life. He had a white dog when he was young. All right, so this is my favorite part, and I really do hope that this brings some light to your healing. It is so hard to lose someone, and the grieving is just overwhelming. Seems like a whole new normal, like your life is never the same again. And if he was significant to you, and it seems like he was, then this is definitely the case. And so I ask if he could say a couple of things to you, what would he say? So he's going to do that through me right now. One thing that came out that I felt like directly related to your illness before he passed, that he was supportive of you during, he says, I am sorry, please forgive me. So he might just simply be saying, I am so sorry I left you during this difficult time. This was my life's path. It was my time to go, but I still want you to know I am sorry for having to leave you in your time of need, or just not to be able to be there to take care of you further. But he is there. He stands beside you as one of your earth guides. This is different than a guardian angel. A guardian angel is assigned to you at birth. All right. So these are the other 2 messages he wanted you to know. We are so connected, and that is beautiful. I believe it, and I know you know it. And he wanted you to know we are soulmates. So if you felt like when this person was in your life that they were your soulmate, if after he passed the feelings and hurt were so deep, you realized, wow, he was my soulmate, you are correct. He feels the same way too. And just know that he is beside you as an extra level of love and support. And Aquarius, I hope that this brings you some happiness. And thank you so much for giving me your time. God bless. And please check back with me for future readings. I'm doing this just all free of charge. I want to bring light and healing to people in their darkness. And so that is my goal. And again, God bless, and bye-bye from the 5th dimension. Bye, Aquarius.